Hello everybody in the train room. Again, for the second time tonight, we're going to do another video. So not sure I'll have both of these posted at the same time, but you'll definitely see this one tomorrow on Saturday. So anyway, this was actually my first video on my channel. I did a little short of this little Christmas layout, and I actually had one of the Kato trams going around it. This belongs to my oldest daughter. She was gracious enough to let me borrow it, but I actually built it for this Kato Pocket Line Christmas train. So it came in this box, and there it is right there. So this thing is really neat. This is my first one of these Pocket Line series that they make in N scale. Being a Z scale enthusiast mostly, like this is I'm used to the trains being really small. So, but for N scale, this is pretty tiny. So, just to give you a review of this, they came out with these last year, and I'm not sure if they're discontinuing these or they won't be coming out again. But I actually bought this last week because I figured, well, I'm going to grab it at our local hobby shop, Esther's Hobby. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, make sure you stop in there for all your scenery and N scale needs, of course. But the motor is actually in this coach. Like this, the locomotive, it doesn't even, it won't run on its own. So this is actually how it's powered, which was kind of neat. I kind of thought like, oh, how would that work? Until I had one, I was like, oh, it seems like that would derail or that would push the other cars off. But no, when it's running at a low voltage, it definitely works good. You don't even need to couple this. I think these couplers are like, I'm not a big fan of these L couplers on the smaller trains just because they're with a smaller radius. It's hard to couple and uncouple. But I actually have this. I picked up this while I was there last week as well. This is Kato's smaller controller. Now this is for the Pocket Line. It's a Pocket Line controller. I do have the box over here. Excuse me. So they come like this. So it's for their Pocket Line series. That it's if you want to get into N scale and even have smaller layouts like I do in Z scale, you can do that. I mean, this is a 15-inch disc here, so it's obviously not a lot of space. Now you got to be mindful if you do it that small, you're really limited on what you can run on these. You can run all the Pocket Line stuff. Kato just released the NW2s a few months ago, these switcher diesels. You can run them on here. Most rolling stock like box cars and everything, those will run fine on here. So if you have an NW2, you could run it on here. You could they make, I don't know all the road names they make. I know Union Pacific, Burlington Northern, which Burlington Northern would be good on here because it's green and it could be a little Christmas train. So if you wanted to go that route, but definitely the Pocket Lines, especially this Pocket Line Christmas train, I would recommend grabbing one of those. This is a simple project to do. Anybody can do this. I mean, this is a 15-inch disc. I don't even think it's a half-inch from Michael's Craft Store. And of course, we have the Woodland Scenics soft flake snow. You can see where that was purchased. Just saying. So it's that. And then I picked up some of these Christmas trees and stuff at Michael's as well last year when I got this. After I got all my scenery stuff at Esther's, I picked up the Christmas stuff. Now let's talk about the track here. Kato Unitrack, the best they can make for the scale. It's like Rokuhan is for Z scale. I use Kato Unitrack for anything N scale. I have one loop of Bachmann track that came with a starter set, and I actually glued that down to a little 2x3 layout that eventually I'll finish, and I'll show you guys that one. But this set is actually the CV1 set. This Kato Unitrack in N scale CV1. Remember that if you want to do this. Now it does come with like 4 straight pieces, so you could configure a little bit bigger of a layout. I just bought it for the curves, and I figured, well, we can always use extra pieces of track, so I'll just take the curves and build this and save the straight pieces for something else. So you can definitely check that out if you want to do something like this. So for a 15-inch disc, those curves will work perfect if you put them all in a circle. I didn't measure on this. I just kind of eyeballed it. So I think the one side's a little bit, I think the track is over to one side, just a hair. But, you can't really tell unless you're looking closely and you're that big of a stickler for detail. But of course, it's a little Christmas layout. So, we're not looking for realism as far as, the landscape and things built to scale and all that. This is your Christmas time layout here, so we can do whatever we want with it. So let's these pocket line controllers. These are only 5 volts. They will work for Z scale as well. I actually just the layout I'm building in Z scale. I tested it with my Conrail GP30 made by AZL, of course, and it just kind of crawled along with it. So I'll probably use a Rokuhan controller for that. But the one thing I will say about either the Rokuhan controller or these Kato controllers. So, as you saw in my last video, how I wire those with the male end and the female end power jacks. I will actually take Kato wires, because these will fit in the Rokuhan controllers. They're universal for either style of controller. So what's nice about this is, like, I can connect, I think all last year when I had this up for Christmas, I actually had my battery powered Rokuhan controller. I was using this one to power it. I used that, and I used a regular Kato power pack. But either way, do your wires up like this if you want for N or Z, and then it's universal. So just something to look out for. So I'm going to turn this thing on and let it run, because you're probably sick of me talking and you want to see the train. So this is full throttle right here on this pocket line controller. I have not tested this yet with a Rokuhan controller to see if it does speed the train up a little bit. But I just actually had this upstairs. I had it on my end table by my recliner, and I was just letting it run when I got this pocket line train. And I, just for a little, being able to test it out, it was a new thing. So now, to give you more about these controllers here, this is actually powered with a USB-C phone charger. I just bought the blocks to go in the wall. I got a couple of those on Amazon just for extras. This one has the one that has where both ends are the USB-C, and then you have the USB hookup with the USB-C, which is what I'm using for this. So, everybody has these lying around, so everybody has phone chargers laying around. So if you can power one of these little controllers off of it, hey, why not? And these are just so tiny. I mean, you can see how that fits in my hand. It almost reminds me of the old Game Boy Micros there, that were so tiny. So yeah, this is a fun project to do. I built this whole layout in like less than an hour. It was just all I did was I spray painted the base white, and the track, including that, is after I got it glued down. So the wiring for this, you've seen my Z-scale layouts, how I actually solder the wires of the track. So with Kato, they make the rail joiner wires. So you can actually take those and connect it that way, which I think is a whole lot easier for doing that. Just pop the rail joiners out. They give you when you buy the wires like this, so they give you the little tool to pop the rail joiners out, and then you just put the powered ones in. And like I tell you guys, I know it's just a circle layout, but be mindful of which one goes where if you're concerned about direction. Which one you want to be forward and reverse. So yeah, these are great, and I've been buying these wires actually to do up these wires here, because you do have to cut the one end off. So I just cut the rail joiners off, but I leave enough that eventually when I do I'm going to do a bigger end scale project eventually, so you'll need like boosters for DCC. So that's why I'm giving myself enough distance with these, enough wire left over that I can still and I can put extensions on them, but at least I'll be able to power boosters around the new layout I plan on building whenever that may be. So yeah, that's a simple wiring there. Doesn't take much, just drill a hole through it. I drilled I usually use my 3/8 inch drill bit. It's a little tough, but you can get this end through. But if you use if you use these unijoiners, this will go through a 3/8 inch drill bit hole, no problem. You can just do them because this comes apart. And you can actually do these one at a time up through, and then connect them to the track, glue it down. You're good to go on that. So enough about the wiring here. And then it was like I said, painted it with the track and everything. I did use spray paint because I feel like you can, you're not running a brush over your tracks. You're not coating everything. You're kind of like, you're just getting it to the point where, it looks like it has snow on it. As you can see with this, the ballast that's built on the roadbed is still gray. It's shining through. So I think the track looks really good for a snow-covered layout. But it's still, like, I know we talked about it being a Christmas layout and realism and all that, and we're not that concerned, but I feel like the track does look pretty real as far as being snow covered. So I glued 6 of these little trees around here. And I covered them with a little bit. I think these did come with snow on them. I may have added a little bit more, and as you can see, some of it's kind of fallen on the layout itself, like on the base, some of the pieces of these trees. That's great, honestly, because it just adds a little bit more of a detail to it. And these things do brush off real easy, so just be careful if you use those. Those were Michael's Craft Store trees here, and same with the big tree as well. We just added the ornaments to it, which are removable like any Christmas tree. I mean, so you can take those off. You can rearrange them. My kids like decorating this one. And then the bow and everything was on there when we got it. So I was going to drill up through the bottom, and it was just like I couldn't get it through this base. I don't know what this is in here, but I just used a lot of glue. I actually took some painter's tape and taped over the center as I was doing the spray paint because I wanted to make sure that that tree was going to adhere to it when it was glued down. This is just like a burlap sack around it, so I think the glue took to that pretty well. But yeah, this is our little Christmas layout. I actually got the idea from Steve's Trains because he built one like this, and I thought it was pretty neat. So mine's a little different than his. I kind of went with the more plastic tree here than just like one plastic like hard piece. This actually has movable branches and everything. And then as for any other landscaping, one thing I did find that was really good for this was some aerosol Elmer's glue. So like I could spray this tree without all the ornaments on it, obviously, and then these trees as well. And then just kind of drop some of that soft flake snow on it. And since the branches were already wet with glue, it was adhering to it okay. So, yeah, check this out. You want a small layout for a nice Christmas decoration this year. That's why I know it's August, but like it's going to be here before we know it. So if you guys are interested, this is such a simple build. This is probably the easiest thing I have ever built as far as model railroading goes. And it's a nice little decoration you can have. So kids will like it if you have kids, and it's always a good conversation piece when people come over. And if you do have kids, make sure you put it up where they can't grab it. Because when my 1-year-old son, when he was tall enough to reach the table where I had it sitting, that's when it was time to bring it down to the train room and see if we can find a better spot for it here this Christmas. So anyways, yeah, check it out. Hopefully you guys like this. Make sure to share this with your friends, like, subscribe. I don't sell N scale, but definitely check all your check www.uszscale.com for all your Z scale needs. And yeah, you could do this in Z. You could build one like this as well. I know the other layout I'm building is on an 18-inch disc with Roku Hunt Track for Z scale. That's the RO2 curves. They do make sharper curves, so you might be able to even find a smaller disc and build an even smaller Z-scale layout, which I think that would be cool. You might actually be able to find one that you could build and put in the palm of your hand. So definitely check that out. But anyway, I'm rambling on again. You guys know how much I love doing that. So let's get a little close-up of the train here, and we will let you guys go And we'll hopefully catch you in the next one. So watch it run around here. Let's get some detail. I'll wish you Merry Christmas in December, but for now, I'll just say thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one. All right, have a good night.